welcome to ET Hangouts with me, Ankita Saxena. Well, I'm back with yet another exciting episode of meaningful conversations from influencers, latest trends and what's hot in the market. Well, the festive season has begun, and so at ET Hangouts, we decided to bring you a special festive edit where I caught up with ace fashion designer Neeta Lulla to decode the changing fashion landscape and also to help you pick your wardrobe for this festive season. Glitz, glamour, color. These are the words that come to mind when one thinks of the festive season. Elegant saris to stunning lehengas, every festive season brings with it some new trends, and we at ET Hangouts are decoding these trends with someone who has some of the biggest movies to her credit, like Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, Devdas and Jodha Akbar. Winner of 4 national awards and many accolades, she is the top designer for all the top celebrities in the country. Yes, we are in conversation with the ace fashion designer, Neeta Lulla. Hi Neeta, welcome to ET Now. Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So Neeta, I want to begin by asking you about your journey. So you were not exactly a fashion enthusiast. In fact, it wasn't on the cards at all, right? So how did someone who had no love for fashion, or no fashion aspiration rather, how did she go on to become one of India's most celebrated designers?
That actually is a mystery to me as well. But I'm going to let you in on a little story that I don't think very many people know. I got married so that I don't study.
Yes.
And my family that I got married into was a family of professionals. They were doctors and a whole lot of professionals in the entire family. So when I got married, I was like, okay, now I'm going to just enjoy life, party and go for films and things. But I was on a very limited pocket money.
Okay.
And I just felt that how do I manage to get more pocket money to enjoy life further? So I said, let me just take up a hobby, and the hobby that I took up was tailoring, because I said I'm going to make clothes, I'm going to sell clothes, and I'm going to even wear them.
Okay.
And that's how this entire journey started.
Yeah.
And little did I know that in the realm of, this little process that I started, life would make it into such a huge. Reality and a huge landscape for me.
Right. So you said you just started out by making clothes and selling clothes. Then of course you went on to do ramp shows. How did the transition from ramp shows transition to movies and big movies?
So I started off as a fashion enthusiast, and in college they realized my potential of working with different kind of fabrics and materials and styling. So Hemant Trivedi and Jeannie Noroji took me under their wings to start off with fashion choreography. And those days I don't think films was ever on the cards, because there was a huge divide between fashion mainstream and films. And I never thought I would get into films, because films was like, oh, that's a massive taboo there. Nobody worked on films in terms of somebody who was from mainstream fashion.
Okay.
And I started doing choreography, and I got into teaching at the same school that I studied from as well, because Hemant got me to succeed his work.
Okay.
And there was a project that came up with someone in the family making the project. They said, why don't you help out on making the clothes?
Okay.
Because they wanted a new age, new dimension to clothes for films. So I, of course, said, yeah, that's not a problem. So let's, delve into this as well and see how it works. And I remember getting fired by Jeannie Noroji saying, you want to do films with such fabulous contribution to choreography, and you're so good at styling. Why do you want to do films? Nobody does films.
So was it looked down upon?
It was a complete taboo, because at that point in time, nobody thought of working on films. But yeah, I used to look at the first intervention into films from a fashion designer was Xerxes Batena.
Okay.
With Parveen Babi's gold outfit. And I used to look up and say, someday someday I'm going to
Okay.
be here. So yeah, then I did the film, and the first outfit was a massive disaster for Kimi Katkar, but went on to becoming a huge success, and the rest is history.
Right. So when you sit down to design for a film versus the ramp, what is the difference? Like, what is your thought process? I mean, I'm sure the creative process is going to be different. I mean, it has to in keep with the film, the story of the film. But how do you think? How do you sit down to do the creative when you do that?
So when we design for the ramp, it is our own collection, and that is for mainstream fashion.
Yeah.
But when you're doing films, it's costuming. So as a couturier and a costumier, there are two distinctive and diverse philosophies that I follow. On costumes, it is about creating the look that is in the character narrative of the film that you're working with. It is in perception of the kind of visual that a director looks at. There are a whole lot of aspects of, what's the kind of color scheme that your director of photography is following, the art director is following, the collaboration with the dance choreographer, the comfort level of the actor, and a whole lot of these different diverse thought processes that culminate into one massive visual which you see on the big screen. However, the techniques on working on this are way different, and this I learned at a very early age, with my first outfit being a disaster, that the techniques that you use on cutting the garments are way different from what you do on mainstream garments. So mainstream garments require a kind of thought process of your own philosophy, the kind of look that you want to project for the coming season, the collection that you're coming out with. In this format, the philosophy of the designer remains constant, but influences and inspirations change every season, depending on the kind of trends that are in fashion.
Right.
And this also gives you the leeway to work on a color scheme of your choice that you think will work for the consumer to buy. You can work on different kind of cuts and fabric textures, but the cut and the design sensibility has to be something that is accepted not only by the audiences of your own country, but even a global acceptance in today's times.
Right. But Neeta, we are into the festive season now, and it is that time of the year where everyone wants to look their best. So we want you to tell us what are the do's and don'ts for this festive season?
With the globalization of fashion becoming so intricate and so imperative in our country, I think there are a lot of do's than don'ts, because everything that you do with a lot of confidence works. However, when I hear a lot of people say it's about comfort only, but it's not about comfort only.
Yes.
It's about creating that style statement that you are comfortable with. That is the difference. And with this festive season coming in, lots of diverse thought processes, especially from the millennials and the Gen Z. I would say the advent of wearing keds under your lehengas is a very Gen Z trait.
Absolutely.
And the millennial trait is to be able to pick up clothes which are vintage, which have a vintage appeal, and using them with new age kind of things or new age garments. So if you're using a blouse which is vintage and using it with a new age skirt or sharara pants, and creating that look that you like and is trendy. So the key factor for this season is trendy, and keeping it really stylish and fun.
Top 5 things to have in your wardrobe, or if you could create a small capsule wardrobe for our viewers for the festive season.
So a great pair of keds, which is embellished, not embellished, colorful, whatever you want.
So the keds under the lehenga or the sari.
Whatever, yes. That's one thing that you require. You require a very well cut blouse. Like either it's a bustier or a blouse that is got an Indo-Western fusion appeal that can be worn with your jeans, with your jackets, with your shararas or your saris, whatever you may use it with. A nice belt, a great belt, a great pair of sunglasses, because festives seep into day and night, so you want to wear that with your outfits. And of course a great bag.
Right.
A bag that you can carry, which will be a great accessory and you can have fun with.
All right, thank you so much for that. But let's move on to the other topic, which is the changing fashion landscape. And you covered a lot of it in your answer. How has fashion changed over the years? I mean, you mentioned the kind of changes that have come about. How has that changed over the years? You have been a witness to, these changing times in fashion.
So I would say that there is a lot of changes that have happened in the fashion landscape over time. And post-COVID, I think there's been a massive shift. The trajectory has completely changed in a way whereby...
and what would that be?
You see, what's happened is during COVID, we were all sitting at home, and there were a lot of thought processes and a lot of philosophies that came onto your social media platforms, and you read about, heard about, and I think that changed the entire trajectory of how people looked at fashion later on. Be it OTT, be it casual, be it practical. There was a different mindset shift. But there is a profound statement that we can make about fashion becoming more and more holistic with that happening. I would say there is a blend of traditional and contemporary that has seeped in, like what we're talking about, keds and lehengas and saris that happened. I would say the digital influence post-COVID has been so strong that people have started to create a mindset of their own and want to dress the way they would like to, creating their own style statement, which is fabulous. And the aspect of sustainability, where you want to wear a hand-me-down, you want to repeat clothes, you want to have...
is that what you call thrifting?
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to have clothes that you can wear in different ways. So coordination of your garments has become a very imperative aspect of the trajectory right now. Gender inclusivity, wearing a male jacket.
Fashion being fluid.
And wearing jackets which are for men, or the men wearing skirts or sari drapes, or so that aspect has become very strong, and they're doing it fearlessly, and that's fabulous.
And I think people are judging you also a little less than what they used to maybe earlier on.
That's an aspect I really don't know about, because that
but they're doing it anyways
over time, and there is a regional diversity that has cropped up because with the ever evolving fashion statement, and our country is a very young country, and people are very fashion conscious in today's times. From tier 2, tier 3 cities as well, people watch films and watch television and want to play the part, want to look fashionable. So the statement has become very diverse, even from various parts of our country. So this regional diversity has also culminated into the fact that designers themselves are using a lot of fabrics that would probably be from Banaras or from Kanchipuram or various places, and then incorporating them into their garments. And women from there are also, men from there are also using those with a very contemporary aspect to it. So wearing maybe a Kanjivaram sari with a t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
So that kind of a thing has seeped into our aspect. Celebrity influences, I would per se, that's something that has happened, where because you are on the social media platforms, you see how celebrities are dressing, and that aspires somewhere you're kind of dressing as well, to be able to dress the part and look the part. Customization of your garments has become much more easier. You don't just want to pick up off the rack, you are ready to customize as a designer.
Okay, what is your take on social media influencers or fashion bloggers, as they call themselves? You know, there was a time when, you know, designer's word was like a gospel truth for fashion. But now you open the Instagram and it's just flooded with fashion influencers, bloggers, some of them not even qualified to have an opinion, like there's no formal degree or background for fashion. What is your opinion, or what is your take on these fashion bloggers and fashion influencers? Everyone wants to have an opinion on fashion now.
So you want to push me in a corner. Okay. I think social influencing has become a very, very important aspect of Instagram. Be it for the millennial audiences, be it for your celebrities, or be it for the Gen Z audiences, you know, who look at the social media platforms for their inspirations. We never had this.
Absolutely.
All I had was like some biannual kind of magazines that came once in 2 years, 2 in 1 year. I would go to the library and look at what was done in the past by designers, and you know how we could culminate it into our dressing, or pop artists who would be who would kind of dress differently. So that was the day and age of Cyndi Lauper cutting her, tearing up her jeans and wearing it, and we would just ape that. I mean, that's all we had as an influence or inspiration. You know, and so today I think there is a massive democratization of fashion happening from this aspect, because there are so many influencers who work on such varied aspects. Yes, there are some fantastic ones, and there are some who may not have it, you know, to be able to create.
Who's just giving an opinion for the sake of,
that is, it entirely depends on the viewer and the audiences, what they kind of take and what they don't take. So that's the kind of buffet that you have in front of you. But I think this democracy has led to a lot of inspiration for a lot of people.
Wow,
you know, and I think it only works when you have some authentic information and authentic projection of what you want to do, you know, and when it's coming from here and not from here, especially for the influencers, and you gauge that, you understand that when you see it in them, you know, the kind of effort they've put in, the kind of communication they're bringing out. So that kind of touches a chord somewhere in the minds of the people who are watching this. Also the fact that it brings in a lot of business for influencers, I guess, you know, there is the aspect of monetization which happens in this, and that only happens with the best.
Right, you're right.
You know, so it is a diverse vocation that has sprung up in the recent past, and this is something that you can use as a business and make money out of it.
Correct.
Which is great. The audiences watch a film and they make the hero or the heroine their part of their daily lives. You know, their social media influencers also become that for a lot of people.
Wow, that's such a fresh take on you know, social media influencers, that how people start, you know, it's fast content, you're getting inspired, and also they become a part of your lives. Is there any favorite influencer or fashion blogger that you really like or follow?
Oh, so internationally, Shiara Firangji.
Okay.
I think she is one of the pioneers of social media influencers, and she has been absolutely consistent. You see her posts even when she was pregnant. I mean, there was a consistency on everything, and there's a truthfulness.
Correct.
So you want to see her, and today she has a fabulous following. I don't even know how many millions she must be having, but that's because of the kind of holistic posting that she does, you know, on every aspect. Even if she's doing something at the airport, there is an element of style, there is an element of honesty.
Right.
Whether she was pregnant, that was another one. Then fashion forward, she's massively fashion forward.
Right.
Then there is Daniela Bernstein,
Okay.
who I think, though being a fashion designer herself, comes out with minimalistic content, very minimalistic imagery, and does a great job of it. And that minimalism spells a great deal of style.
Right.
You know, on our own national front, I think there is Alia F.
Oh yes.
Who I find doing
very authentic.
Great work, authentic, fashionable, but something about her is very honest.
Genuine, very honest. Yes, I've seen her.
Then there is Sakshi Sidwani, who brought in a full figure and
plus size
and flaunting it so beautifully. Samira Reddy, for that matter of fact, as a mommy. And I love the transition that she brought out. You know, from who she was and an actor, then as a mother, and how she put on weight. And I think that journey is absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then for some great content and a lot of thought into the content, which is filmy, which is fashion, which is everything fabulous about it, is Komal Pandey. So I think Komal and Siddharth are doing a wonderful job on that. Whatever they're doing it with a great deal of honesty and great visuals of content. There's a lot of thought, and you can see that in that.
Do you ever feel compelled to get on Instagram and get into that space?
Get into influencing, then I can't get
into, you can't really continue.
You know, it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time
and
job,
you don't want to seep into somebody else's job.
That's also there.
I would rather do mine.
Yeah, right. But I had a lovely time talking to you, but we won't let you go without a rapid fire.
Okay.
Without a good rapid fire. So quickly then, one international celebrity you would like to dress?
Madonna, my all-time favorite. I've grown up watching her. In fact, a lot of my fashion sensibility came from her and Cyndi Lauper, and I think she's absolutely fabulous. So if and when I get a chance. I mean, I'm sounding like a full fan person. It's a fan moment.
But we all are.
Yeah, she's fabulous. She's a holistic woman. The way she talks, the way she projects her fashion sensibility is brilliant.
Right. One fashion trend you absolutely hate?
Balloon skirts.
Balloon skirts. Okay. Biggest fashion faux pas that one could make, probably.
Oh yes, that is something I must speak about.
Yes.
You know, I see a lot of celebrities and a lot of people wearing longer length dresses, which are not even the length. You know, that should stop.
It finishes above your ankle.
No, it needs to finish exactly at the floor, but not longer. You know, just because it's a outfit that you want to wear. Length doesn't matter, but yes, length matters because it seeps into your comfort of walking.
Correct.
It may look dowdy because the length is not the right length for you. So yes.
Oh wow, that was a good insight. Well, sari or lehenga for the season? For you, festive season?
Sari with boots, sari with jackets, saris with anything. I've started my career with saris with boots and t-shirts and jackets. So that's
best dressed Indian celebrity.
Today's day and age, this is not a question that one could speak about because there are so many stylists that are working behind that celebrity.
Your favorite fashion designer besides Neeta Lulla?
Neeta Lulla.
Your go-to attire when you want to dress down?
Dress down?
You want to dress down.
I'm never a dress down person.
You're not a dress down person?
I'm not.
At all.
OTT is my mantra, but blue jeans, white shirt.
Okay.
That too a satin shirt, not a cotton shirt.
So that's you. So one fashion choice your daughter does not approve of, like all children who keep telling her, Mama, you can't wear this. What is that one thing she says?
Oh, my daughter says, I can't wear everything, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, because when I wear it, she says, this looks good.
Okay, so thank you so much, Neeta. It was a pleasure having you on the show. So insightful. I'm sure the audience will also love this chat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on this chat.
Oh, sir, this order is for 3 months later.
But for the right profits, we first need to decide at what price to purchase the raw